Deadpool is coming to the MCU and we know he's going to have a R rating. But the director of the first film, Tim Miller, believes that the third film does not need to be R rated. I mean, he's right, but it should be. So let me get into this the best way I can. You know when you expect something like a movie or a video game or something you're picking up to be in line with what you got before? For example, the Resident Evil game. It was really shocking to longtime fans to pick up Resident Evil 4 and see the entire series completely abandon all the storylines and everything, just bring back a familiar character, put them into something that has no connection to Resident Evil. It was jarring, to say the least, but that's sort of what I'm going to equate this to. Was Resident Evil 4 great? Yes. Absolute masterpiece when it comes to the gameplay and what it did for the game industry, but it wasn't Resident Evil anymore if you compare it to the previous entries. So Deadpool could be like a Resident Evil 4. It doesn't need to be R-rated, but you sort of expect it to be because of what came before, just like survival horror. I expected more survival horror and less ammo. Resident Evil 4 gave me less survival horror and way more ammo. So with that in mind, Tim Miller recently talked to Inverse in regards to Deadpool, because he was responsible for the first film. And he says, look, when it comes to it, Ryan Reynolds is still that character. It's his thing. And he says that he believes that you don't have to make the next film R-rated. You can take out all the R-rated parts out of the first film, and it would still be a good film. So you don't necessarily need to have the third film be R-rated to deliver a good film, but it's an expectation in the way it's going to go. And I think he's right here. Again, you know, there's nothing wrong with Deadpool changing, but we've kind of come to expect something from it, and we want it to stay in line. And they're gonna do that. We know, everybody's confirmed it now. But I don't think he's wrong in the notion that if you were to take the first Deadpool movie and take out what makes it R-rated, that you could still make a good movie. Because you could. It could still be a good movie. It'd be the same film. Just some of the more over-the-top, grotesque things and some of the jokes would have to be redone. But in essence, you still have a good film because it's a good film. Does that make sense? So yeah, I agree with him. You don't have to necessarily do it, but I hope that they don't go on a PG-13 route at all. I mean, maybe if you want to do a PG-13 cut, that's fine. I mean, there's multiple directors that shoot R-rated films that they're shooting with also PG-13 takes, just in case they want to use that take instead because the R-rated one doesn't fit. Ridley Scott and Prometheus, great example.